Now, from ages 9 to 12, this is the puberty bracket right here. This is when puberty really begins for children. So it's really important from age 9 to 12 that you're really emphasizing all the body changes that children are going to be going through, and you might want to look for tools to help you have these conversations. For example, maybe you want to buy a book and read it together, or watch some videos together, take a class. A lot of schools around fifth grade will tend to have like a puberty video or education of some sort, depending where you live. Hopefully, they do something, and you want to be in the know of what they're covering, and make sure that you're also having your own conversations at home about all of the changes that are going to be happening to their bodies. So they're going to be getting taller, they're going to be getting body hair, they're going to be sweating more and need to wear deodorant and be a little bit more stinky, take lots of showers. You can talk about hygiene, right? They may start to shave, and letting them know about when that's okay to do, and what age you want them to be doing that, or you want to help them get them their own razor, things like that. You also want to talk about menstruation with girls and getting them ready for their period, and you'll want to talk about what they'll be using and showing them pads and tampons and panty liners and all the products that are there. For boys, you want to be talking about they'll be experiencing erections more frequently, and that they may have a wet dream because they're going to be making a new bodily fluid their body's never made before, called semen, that may leak out at night, and that will come out of the penis, and that's normal. And if it happens, wrap up your sheets, throw them in the wash. It's no big deal. I'm not going to be upset, nothing to be embarrassed about. Those are some of the conversations you'll want to have. So if you need support or help, I will tell you more about a course that I offer later in these videos. So I do something for 9 to 12-year-olds that may be helpful for your family. But if there's some other course or something else in your community that you can take, I think that is very worthwhile. And it can help you broach this topic a little easier even than a book can. So, definitely check out the tools available to you. You may also, at this time, need to reinforce some of the messages that you were sharing earlier in their lives around touching. And again, you want to reiterate that if they want to touch their private parts, that they do that in private places. So it's important that you let them know. Don't try not to shame them for doing it. I think that's very important, that you don't shame your child for touching their body. It's normal behavior. It's not something that you should be overly concerned about. But you do want to let them know it's not something they want to do all the time, and it's something that they do in private places. Okay, so again, name those places. You may notice your children taking longer showers and things like that. That can happen around this age. So you'll want to have some conversations around that. I think it's also important that you're sharing stories about your life and things you've experienced, and also looking for stories in movies and books and videos and the news, and looking at and capitalizing on what I call teachable moments, and use those to have conversations about other important issues that you need to let your children know your values on. So there's plenty to choose from. If you're looking for them, you'll see them everywhere. And there will be important messages that you'll want to, and values you'll want to instill in your child about what you believe and what's right from wrong, and how to handle certain situations. And, was this a healthy relationship or unhealthy relationship? I think it's important to ask questions, and when you're watching TV and you see something of a model of a relationship that's healthy, that you acknowledge that, and if it's unhealthy, that you also acknowledge that and talk about what's unhealthy about it, things like that, okay? Make sure you're talking about your family's expectations about behavior. When it's appropriate for when is it appropriate for sex? What time in someone's life? Is it when they're an adult, they're much older, and they can they're in a committed relationship, a loving relationship, or are they married, or are they whatever those parameters are. Make sure you're talking about what dating and sexual activity, when's a good time for that. Okay, and that will vary for every family. So, and you might say it might vary for you, but whatever your beliefs are, this is a time to start understanding what those are and letting your child know in little pieces what those are. Okay, and that's pretty much what you need to be doing at this age. There's obviously other conversations that you'll want to have about other issues like violence and peer pressure, how to handle peer pressure. You may also want to start talking about social media and when your child gets a device. A lot of children get devices so much younger now. You want to have rules and maybe like a contract you have with your child about when they can use their devices and when they need to put them away, things like that. Those are also important conversations to have from 9 to 12.